Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. I am Adam, and today I have a unboxing of a Pathfinder flip mat, which is the museum. And while I'm remembering the name of it, pretty much apparently what this is the map is of the Blackros Museum, which is actually apparently in some of the Pathfinder stories. That is, or I guess maybe the second incarnation of that museum or something like that. I noticed that when I was looking up information on getting it. Really, I was just looking for a cool museum that I need for a campaign I'm thinking about possibly working. It'd be a cool place to have. So, so far away because it's going to unfold to be very big. The back does have little bitty images of it and talks about it, not mentioning that it is the other, because it can just be a generic map, but of course it is also 24 inches by 30 inches with 1 inch squares, basically 1 inch to equal 5 feet. There's the cover bit. And this folds out. Alright, so here these are nice. It's a nice, sturdy, laminated, double-sided battle map. Though with this one being the museum, I'm not sure if I'm going to do too much battle. I guess we'll start with what is clearly the entrance. You do have a bit of a garden here on the side, and you can see these posts. It's because the back side of this is the next floor up, and you know, that supports that part because it actually goes out further there and things like that. Anyways, so you have your entrance to a little room that has a big statue at the end, a couple statues near the entrance, some rugs, and a big carving in the floor, you know, a nice intricate design in the floor. And you'll notice throughout here there are a few of these areas that you can actually find if you look up the Blackros museum. Some of them are like secret passages and stuff, so obviously you can use them for that, or you can just say they're empty areas or your own secret passages. Anyways, from this main room it exits off multiple ways. We'll start going this way, sort of circle around. We enter in here into what is a large sort of picture gallery. You can see the sort of the side portrait, and you can kind of tell an idea of what maybe these are, but really it doesn't matter. Pretty much it's just a bunch of paintings that would be all lining the walls. It's just a big art gallery. It's a museum. Wonderful. Continuing to rotate around, we will point out there's actually a garden here in the back with some more statues, some benches, hedges. Lovely. From that main area up here, you enter, if you go straight forward, into there's all sorts of different artifacts, from little sort of miniature sarcophagus-looking things to staffs, or whatever, boxes, just different things, including a little platform up where there's a few items here, and some sort of large, impressive gold diamond shaped object, whatever, in the middle. So just sort of, again, a gallery for artifacts. And then on this end, you can enter through here into what is the stairs that go up, or over here the stairs that go down to a basement that is not included. You could make it up yourself, or however you wish, or there's a pair of bathrooms. And a back room that, whatever looks like, some parchment in rolls, whatever, just, crates of things sort of a back storage room for things before they're on the floor most likely. Anyways, going up this set of stairs does take us to the upper floor. Yeah. Flips the mat around completely and comes up here. Again, going around, there's more bathrooms. There are a series of different offices, a couple plain, shared office, and then this nice, really fancy office. So sort of moving up in prestige as you go. There are on this floor some more of those secret areas, if you so wish to make them as such. And there is this sort of hall, conference hall, whatever you'd use it for, but it's a bunch of chairs all facing a stage at the front, and a door for perhaps the prestigious individual with the office to go give said speech there. This main central room, which has a big open area over here, a little enclosed room with more smaller things on sort of plinths, like stands, you know, for show, and some more of those around here, and stairs that seem to lead up, but we don't have what is up from these. So again, an area that leads beyond where we have. Carrying down, you get the large room with a bunch of stuffed or otherwise inanimate creatures, with the centerpiece, of course, being a big old dinosaur. Awesome. You get an owlbear and some, you know, like eagles and tiger and bear and lions and snakes and all sorts of stuff, you know. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Including another little room back here with what looks like little boxes, so storage again. And this flight of stairs, as this arrow suggests, does show you what it goes up to. It goes up to the 3rd floor. Might as well zoom in a bit on here, and I'm going to show some details this time around from other areas of the map a little closer, because, I mean, really, what's the point if you don't get to see stuff? But anyway, so this comes up here to what is a big seating area, and this is a big part of what makes this map work for what I want it for. Is this almost feels like a bit of a club or a gathering area where there's, you know, chairs that are around tables and some couches, and there's a little more banners and stuff on the wall, but it just sort of feels like it's sort of a members area. It's, you know, when you're allowed up here, you know, you're in the club. And there is some sort of object on a table here in the center that, whatever. Some sort of rug with a table on it with some round thing sitting in the center of the room. Yeah, just to show some details. You know, some of the things in this room here. You can see, like, the floor down below. You know, this is a map for this floor, but you can see down below it, and they don't actually have the grid on the lower floor, but if you flip it over, of course, that is gridded down on the bottom floor. Here's a close-up of some of those offices and conference room and such. Flip it over. You know, here was what I said about the paintings on the walls. The garden in back with statues and the fountain. You can see the gloss on it. It's supposed to take, you know, it obviously takes wet and dry erase markers, but you're also supposed to be able to use permanent and then use like a dry erase over it to get the permanent marker to erase. I've still, on all these that I've gotten, never tried that, but that's what they claim at least. Yeah, you can sort of see some of these displays here. A little back room. Bathrooms. And we've made it all the way back around to the entrance hall here, a bit closer. So yeah, and then might as well Here's the main floor, and it will sort of, you can tell like what is right side up based on their logo. So right side up would be this, with, you see what's the rounded part here on top, and if you turn it this way where it's right up, you technically have to flip it for it to be on the same side, but it works on the table, because when I saw the images of it, I didn't think it'd work, but when I just flipped it over while showing that, it did. It worked, because I just sort of pulled the end and I flipped it, and it worked. So so it was probably the best decision for how to lay it out. But the way that when you look at the images, it looks like they're reversed from what they should be. But I just found out because you have it laying down, and then if you just sort of flip it, it keeps it the right way. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, again, this side. And the third floor that we do have is separated off. Obviously, it does have areas where it's, it has stairs going both to a basement and another section of a third floor that we don't have. You can go ahead and, as much as their little saying is whatever, don't waste your time sketching when you could be playing with Pathfinder flip mat. Well, you could get some, a Chessex mat and just sketch out what's up there. Or you can make it where those areas don't have combat in our theater of mind. Or if they do have combat, again, theater of mind. Those are always options. You can just describe what's the other ways. I would almost like to see if them continue it with some of their map packs. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen them having any plans to do so. Really, I'd like to just see a map pack with a few options for basements. But again, so far, not yet. But yeah, so there are some areas that it leads to that it doesn't give you, but it does have 3 floors, basically. But yeah, that was the Pathfinder Flip Mat Museum, of course, by Paizo. And it's a Pathfinder flip mat, but you can use it for any system any game where you use 1 inch to 5 feet. This will work. Just as far as a tactical mat, just fine. But yeah, I'll link to somewhere where you can find this online, so you can check it out yourself. Or of course, you can always support your friendly local gaming store if you have one. So yeah, do check that out, and have a good day. Bye.